Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of Real Talk for Real Moms with my friend Tina. Tina is a blogger, social media manager, queen of many things, and lover of Disney. And she and I have been friends for a couple years now in the blogging space. And so when I thought of talking to a mom, she's got a really unique perspective on a lot of things because she's walked roads that some of us haven't. So I thought, who better to talk to and kind of let her share some mom life with us. All right, so Tina, let's start simple. How many kids do you have?
I have 3 teenage boys, and we're not just talking 3 teenage boys. We're talking the entire spectrum. We're 13, 16, 19. So.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Yep, beginning, middle, and end.
What's the funniest thing each child's ever done?
Oh my gosh. I mean, they're hilarious. So, I mean, there's so many different funny things. I mean, I do remember one of the things that we've laughed hysterically about for nearly 18 years now is obviously that gives away which one it is. When we were getting ready to clear quarters, because my husband was an Army officer, we were clearing quarters one time and we could not find the remote control for the television. Like, where the heck is this thing? I mean, I kept a meticulous house. I have no idea where this thing is. Well, we're going and cleaning out the house. We go and we're cleaning out the stove because you have to clean out all the appliances. My husband opened up the broiler. Now, this is child number 1. You know, I'm helicopter mom and everything. And we open up the broiler, and there, lying on its back, is a remote control, batteries and all. So we're like really, really lucky nothing happened to that thing. So that was one thing. And then my middle one used to refuse to eat pickles. Absolutely refused to eat pickles because he was afraid it would give him pickle knee. Pickle knee. I have no idea. So okay, for some reason everything went white. So anyway, with the youngest, he had a fascination with milk cartons and orange juice cartons. Forget any kind of a toy. Didn't need to buy him an expensive toy. You can just give him a milk carton and a couple of crayons. He would stick the crayons in there and shake that all day long. So, but I mean, there's just so many things that have happened over the years. Those are just some of the things that like really stand out at me, the things that make me think of their personalities and stuff. So.
Okay, and then what would you say was the biggest surprise for you about being a mom at the beginning?
This is easy. Because the biggest surprise for me was how unconditional my love was for them. And you have to understand me and my background to be able to understand why I would say that. But they could do anything in the world. Even now, my 19-year-old, college student, you can just imagine there. And my love for them is just absolutely unshaken. It can't be measured, it can't be shaken, it can't be taken away. I didn't experience that kind of love growing up. So, and no, that's not a sob story, that's just point blank fact. But now I look at them and my heart they are the reason my heart beats. So that was my biggest surprise, was just how unconditional love actually works. It just was amazing.
Were there different surprises going from 1 to 2 and then going from 2 to 3?
No.
Nope. Same
Not
thing.
with regard to that. No, just the fact that I had the capacity to be able to love them all. They're all my favorites, and they know this. And I've asked them before, none of them feel like one is loved over the other. All 3 of them are both, all 3 of them are both, listen to me. All 3 of them are just my heartbeat.
That's awesome. All right. I'm going to actually add a question that wasn't on your list, and you're not going to kill me. So I know you're a food allergy mom.
I am.
And, I didn't really put that in my normal questions, but I feel like that's something that people need to hear about. How did that begin for you? Like, how'd you find that out? And then how has that been adjusting to motherhood, dealing with food allergies as an additional kind of roadblock, if you will?
Okay, so if you know my blog at all, you know that brevity is not my strong suit. So let me see if I can try to sum this up in some way. Food allergies became a part of our life when our oldest was about 1 or 2 years old. he started developing severe eczema and some angioedema, or redness and swelling around his lips when he would have like a mayonnaise on his sandwich. And I had a friend. We were living on a military base at that point, and I had a friend 2 doors down who was like, "Dude, he's got food allergies. You need him to get checked." And I'm like, "All right." So we took him in to get checked, and his list was pretty extensive. Fortunately, he grew out of all of his food allergies. We were very, very lucky. By the time he was 5, he was able to add in all the different allergens that he had been allergic to, which he had been allergic. The middle one, he only had like two food allergies, and by the time he was 1, it was more important for him to gain weight than it was for him to worry about a few hives here or there. So he was fine, and he's been fine the rest of his life. When the third one came around, he was a difficult pregnancy, and when he was born, he literally was covered in eczema. I'm not kidding you, born with it. And it got so bad that it was scaly, and it was pretty gross. And his lips would swell up and his tongue would swell up when I was feeding him and nursing him, so I literally had to stop nursing him because I was killing him. And that broke my heart, but that was just one of those situations where that had to be done. But the doctors didn't believe us. The doctors didn't believe us at all when we said we thought we were dealing with food allergies. And they kept pushing all the foods, and we're like, I think we need to be careful. We even went through the testing, and blood test proved what I thought. Skin testing proved what I thought. Blood testing did not. Anyway, to make a long story short, on his very first birthday, we took him to a restaurant to have his very first pancake. And at that restaurant, my husband wanted to give him a dime-sized piece of egg. He's like, allergist said he didn't have any food allergies, so all right. So we gave him a dime-sized piece of egg, and within 30 seconds, his eyes were swelling, nose was watering, hives were everywhere, lips were swelling, he was grabbing at his ear, and then all of a sudden, he started choking. And so, needless to say, we went back to the doctor and said, believe us now? And he was allergic to a plethora of foods at that point. We are now down, over the years, down to 3 categories: eggs, peanuts, and tree nuts. And he's been great at learning how to manage them. He's now 13 and wants to go back into brick and mortar school. So we're working on learning how to cope with a world full of allergens. And he's doing a great job.
That's awesome. And so for you as a mom, was it difficult to adjust to the reality that, hey, this is going to be life for him, and this is going to be something I have to manage?
It was at first, because of the fact that we didn't have any support. This was, back when what was our oldest, that was 19 years ago, and it wasn't really a well heard of or well talked about topic. When the youngest came around, this 13 years ago, it was still kind of, still learning. Everybody was still learning. But our family, to be honest with you, had a really difficult time adjusting to he can't have a piece of bread. I can't have eggs around him, because he actually had an airborne component to his allergy. He walked into a room that had egg, and his ears would swell up, really, really badly. It was terrible. It was difficult because traveling was tough, and that's why I talk about food allergy travel now. But yeah, it was really tough.
Oh, I can imagine.
But I would do anything for him. So.
Oh, and I know you would, but I think that as parents, when we realize, oh wait, this isn't the child I planned for, and that can go in many different ways. I didn't plan for food allergies, or I didn't plan for my daughter's dyslexic. I didn't plan for dyslexia. There's that initial, okay, what now? Because this isn't in the what to expect book.
I know, right?
This isn't in the manual that they gave me that says this is the only problem I'll have with this kid. So it's an adjustment. So that's why I asked, because I know that there's moms out there who feel guilty for having that initial, feeling of, wait, what? This is my life, and this is my child's life. So I wanted them to hear from you that it's okay and it's normal to have that initial reaction.
Yep, it is. And the key is hopefully they have a support system to get around. That's why with the blog, I'm trying to build a community so that people can reach out to other people who are in the same situation, so that they, know, okay, they've gone through this. Oh, okay, they've traveled. Oh, okay, they have family members who have had issues with it. So hopefully.
That makes sense. All right, so we're going to pivot a little bit here.
Okay.
If you could change one thing about the culture of motherhood, what would you change?
The judgment. I wish mamas wouldn't judge each other. We're all trying to do our best. We all have different backstories, different scenarios, different chemistries, different personalities, different family scenarios. Some have 1, some have 6, kids. We don't understand what everybody's going through. So we need to step back and let them mama. Because I went through that. I was judged for homeschooling. I was judged for, the things that I kept them away from artificial colors and flavors for the longest time. It's just different things. And it's just not a healthy situation to be in when you're being judged all the time.
Very true.
More supportive.
I like that. Step back and let them mama. That's going to be one of my new favorites now. What would you say is the hardest part of being a mom?
Not having that support. I think that's probably what influenced a lot of my insecurities as a mom. Just not having. We moved. My husband was military, and we had an unconventional career. So we moved in the 22 years that we've been married. We've lived in like 12 different places. And I know there are people who have moved a lot more than we have, but that's a lot for us. And just. You don't develop, those roots don't get planted. And so you don't have those strong connections. And with everything that, because we deal with a little bit more than food allergies as well. I don't talk about those things much. But we do have a few other issues that have kind of, colored the situation a little bit more too. So it's just, I think just having that support system would have been nice.
Okay, what would you say, since you didn't have that support system and that foundation there, what would you say was your biggest help or was your biggest positive?
Point blank, prayer. I'm not kidding you. For me, it's just making sure that my faith was in check and in line and rooted and connected, so that I knew that the decisions that I made were guided and directed, just because faith-based family. So it was prayer. And my husband, of course, having him around, obviously, staying connected and having the similar, parenting, philosophies, that helped a lot.
That's awesome. All right, if you could give one piece of mom advice, what would it be?
Breathe. Just breathe. Because if we're not breathing, we can't function. And if we can't function, then we can't mama. And if we can't mama, then our kids are running on their own. We've got to learn to take care of ourselves, which self-care is something I'm working on. But we got to believe in the decisions that we make. And we've got to love our kids for who they are. Breathe.
Okay, and now for the one I think you're going to have the most fun with. Tell us where you blog. Tell us what you're up to on social. Tell people where they can find you. And I will put links in the description, but brag a little about you.
All right. I love it when somebody asks me what am I up to, because I usually say about 5'2". You can find me on, my blog is Footprints and Pixie Dust, so www.footprintsandpixiedust.com, and I talk about family, food allergies, travel, and entertainment. You can find me on Facebook, Footprints and Pixie Dust by T.M. Brown. You can find me on both Twitter and Instagram at Footprints and PD, and I do have a YouTube channel. It is Footprints and Pixie Dust. It doesn't have a lot of stuff out there yet, but I'm growing. It's a process.
And if somebody was to read one post of yours, what is your favorite? Which one would you send them to first?
Oh goodness,
I know.
I don't know. I guess.
Question.
I wasn't ready for that one. I guess one of the ones. I mean, how about it? Well, there's two things. I mean, because
Then
I
give
get a
me
lot.
two.
Okay, what was that?
Then give me two.
Well, everybody seems, and this doesn't have anything to do with food allergies, but everybody seems to compliment the series that my husband and I did, Dating Around World Showcase over at Epcot. But if I was to direct anybody to one particular, it would probably be some of the positive food, the post that talks about our food allergy experiences over at Walt Disney World.
Okay.
We've been going to Disney for almost 12 years now together as a family, and we've just had so many positive experiences, which is why we live here now. And I'm talking positive food allergy experiences. That I felt it was good to put them in writing so that people have some kind of a reference as to what it's like to dine at Walt Disney World for food allergies.
And you guys definitely need to, as we've become a food allergy family over the last few months. Hello, Goodbye Egg. I call them the chicken's devil fruit, because they're so evil to me. But I have constantly gone to Tina and been like, Tina, where do we eat? Like, we're going to Hollywood Studios this week, and I was like, where do I eat? What's safe? Who's going to take care of me? So you guys definitely want to check her out and see some of the stuff she has to offer. And Tina, thanks for chatting with us. It's been a great chat.
No problem. Thank you for asking me, Megan. I appreciate it.